talking about how to take your power back. But first, we're going to talk about how your power is being taken away in the first place, and that is how people harvest your energy. Yes, we're talking about how people collect emotions, all right? So if you're ready for that, grab your teas, grab your Coca-Cola, whatever, honey, just stay tuned, all right? So last night I was on my way to the market. I wanted to get a few stuff from the farmer's market, right? And on the street, right when I got there, I saw two people in an altercation, like they were fighting, they were giving it. The issue was somebody had used this car to hit the other, but that was not even what caused the fight. The main fight was the younger guy felt the older man was intentionally exaggerating the situation in order to get a check out of him. In fact, a fat check out of him, because either ways, he's gonna get a check. The younger guy just felt the older man was exploiting him just because of his age and his circumstance, because if you use a car to hit an older guy, everybody's gonna think you are, for which you are, but it's just that he felt like it wasn't a massive hit. So why is the guy pretending to have a waist problem? And it was kind of funny because everybody around was laughing, because we all knew the older man was probably exaggerating the situation, But when it gets to the police, you're not going to see that way. They are literally going to take his side, and he's still at fault, He used a car to hit an old man. So they were busy fighting, like it wasn't a joke, but we that were witnessing it, we could see what was going on, because the old man was giving acting, and then the younger guy was getting really angry, like, get yourself together, like, why are you pretending like you're so hurt? I carried on to buy my stuff, and I came back home. I woke up this morning, I was feeling extremely stressed out, like body aching, mood swinging, I'm all over the place in my emotions. I'm like, Sally, this is not you, like, what is going on? I quickly recalled what happened last night, and how many times have we borrowed emotions that didn't belong to us and didn't even know that it was from other people, and we took it on and acted out of it and got into trouble for it and lost people out of it. Because energy is all over, at a workplace, on the street, at church, at a hospital, in the queue where you buy your ticket, where you buy your food, in a restaurant. However energy is transmitted to you, if you are not self-aware and not ascended, you will collect other people's emotions and not even know where these emotions are coming from. You'll be walking around your day just by the bits and pieces of your peace of mind, not knowing, this is not even who I am. This is not what I am. And the strange part is that a lot of people have collected emotions for years. Yep. Because energy never shows up as a memory. It always shows up as a reaction. So you might have forgotten this afternoon, the teller at the bank caused some sort of emotion out of me, and I'm reacting this way. Now everybody's getting a piece of me. Because energy can be transferred and transmitted easily. A lot of people aren't how they are. They are how their parents are. And their parents are what they went through. You understand? Because your mom acted a particular way out of a situation that she went through, gave birth to you, and through epigenetics, you now have it. This isn't transferred by her mom. It is her. She went through it at that particular moment, and now you have it, which has nothing to do with you, but emotions still carry on. That is what I'm saying, that for you to be self-aware and ascended, you need to be extremely brilliant and very intelligent. You need to be able to sit yourself down and look in the mirror and know, this is not who I am. It doesn't matter how you're acting at the moment. Is that how you really want to act? Is that where you want to operate from? That is how you know it's a bonus borrowed emotion that doesn't belong to you. And then now you can look for Sally's channel and learn how to get it at your system. Ways to obtain energy. Spiritually, physically, mentally, through places, things, or people. Okay? And with spirituality, it usually comes from meditation and worship. So when you worship God, He strengthens you. And when you meditate on the Bible, you take a word and you ponder on it. That is meditation. You take a particular word in the Bible, one that you resonate with, and then you ponder on it. And then you become it, because every word is backed by spirit. Now that is why words of affirmations are very dangerous, because words are spells. They are a bunch of alphabets in the dictionary. They're a bunch of alphabets that are dormant, and people put them together and put spirits behind it. Every word has a spirit. Every sentence has a spirit, depending on where it's coming from. So when you pick up your words and sentences from the Bible, it's backed by the Holy Spirit, and it's activated through the Holy Spirit. You understand? Socially, through culture and religion, the thing about religion is it removes the spirituality out of worship and leaves it just to a bunch of rules and regulations. And that is where people miss it, because it prevents you from knowing God as your Father. It leaves you just to Lord. And it makes you worship God through people, either through your pastor, your prophet. Now, whether it's done intentionally or unintentionally, the impact still prevails, where a lot of people don't know God by themselves. They only know God through a box. They stand between you and God and prevent you from getting to know God. And you know what's dicey? Most of these religious sects are controlled by government, organizations, and structures to partner with control the environment. And it's good to some extent, but it makes them also control the spirituality. So they gear towards just the rules and regulations and prevent you from getting to know God by yourself. They only know God through a box, so when they go through something or they commit a sin, they have to go through someone to ask for forgiveness from God. But God desires you asking Him for the forgiveness, and indirectly He forgives you through reading His Word, the Bible. You understand me? Aside that, religion also puts God through a box. That is why when God was asked His name, He said, I am that I am. Because He knew one day people will claim Him and say He's this, He's that, and fight using Him. So He's not for anybody. He's not a man. He's not a woman. He's an energy. And how He decides to operate to you is who He becomes to you at the moment. And where He operates from depends on your need. Because a lot of times He operates from His feminine side, where He's nurturing, where He's kind, where He's sweet, where He's loving, and He uses all of these romantic words. You know, God is romantic, you know, He's such a gentleman. He opens doors, honey, please. And then other times He uses His masculine energy, where He talks about providing, leadership, protecting, talks about He being Lord, He being the judge, talking about vengeance is His, going to war with people, talking about how your enemies are going to fall flat. All of these things are attributes of God. So you cannot place God in a box, but religion usually places God in a box. And the cultural aspect is this is how I am syndrome. In our country, this is how we are. This is who I am. This is how I was raised. And there's nothing wrong with being raised like that. With our culture, that's how we are syndrome. There's nothing wrong with that. Provided it's healing to the world and it prevents you from sin. Because the thing about sin is that there are consequences that come with them. And sometimes they're generational. It can take years for them to be resolved. Somebody in the family has to sit down and realize, nope, this is not it. Something has to be done. And a lot of times it can be from your great-great-grandfather who did something, and then now all of you are being cursed. You understand? So whatever you do, be very careful, because the consequences lives on. Now, other ways aside that this is how I am syndrome is through things, places, and environment. Let me give an example. When you read certain books and listen to certain music, it has a way of altering your neural pathways. Example, rap music. The fast tempo and the repetitiveness of it has a way of altering who you are. Brain work. Aside that, the books that we read has a way of altering our beliefs and practices. You start acting in a way because you read a particular book. You start not acting in a way because you read a particular book. And then also usually our environment, whether our parties, clubs, classrooms, in the bank, the kind of way people relate to us and interact with us during our day usually has a way of tempering with our emotion. So have you guys passed under a tree before? Let me tell you something about trees and flowers. For me, my favorites are sunflowers. Anytime I see a sunflower, I'm like, ah! Anytime the sun shines, I'm like, ah! Anytime I pass under a tree, I'm like, oh. I have the oh. In fact, there was a time in my life I was in flight mode a lot, because I had to juggle a whole lot at the same time at work, right? And it got to a time my brain was all over the place. One day I was on my way to work where I passed under a tree. The calmness it brought my system, I was like, God, how come I didn't know this all my life? You know what I started doing? I started hugging trees. Yes. I started hugging trees, okay? It brought some sense of calmness. Believe me, ashwagandha cannot handle that. Although that is a drug. Go and hug a tree, you'll be okay, okay? Now, these are all negative and positive energies that one can derive from society. Now, after you've collected these energies and settled on the one you operate from, now you have to be careful how it's budged, because a lot of energies get budged. That is how people harvest your energy. There are people that do not want to do the work, okay? They don't want to read the Bible, they don't want to meditate on the word, they don't want to go through counsel, they don't want to work out to let go of their emotions, they don't want to do none of that. They just want to harvest other people's emotions. A lot of people in relationship have partners that are not with them for the right reasons. Do you know there are people in this world that literally collect emotions? Yeah, there are people that hoard emotions. They play on human beings. All of these people that you guys call players, you're not players. They're just energy vampires. There are people that cannot hold themselves in. They need to rely on people. They need to feed on other people's emotions to feel some sense of self-worth. Because for whatever reason, they don't have it. Just by breathing, they don't believe they're enough. So they would have to manipulate somebody in order to fulfill their energies. Do you know there are certain people in this world that believe that getting a negative emotion out of you means you care about them? Yes, some people have a distorted perception of reality. They actually believe that getting you angry, getting you in your fight and flight mode, getting your cortisol levels rise up means you care about them. And there are other people that need you for specific reasons in your life. So they manipulate you in a way that you don't feel enough, like they're the only ones that can love you, to prevent you from leaving. They make you feel like you're unimportant. And you have to beg them for basic emotional needs, all because they're actually obsessed with your energy. And if they allow you to know how important you are, they have fear of you leaving or finding someone better than them, because they make you feel less, not because you don't deserve more, but because they have nothing to offer you. A person that has decided to operate from a negative perception of reality has nothing to give you. They do not know how to manage their emotions, so the only way they know how to give love is through manipulations and whatnot. You might be the perfect cookie in their cookie jar. You will never be enough, not because they don't see you to be enough, but because you're scared you leave them. They have to manipulate you in a way so you stay. And if you're not self-aware, and if you don't know your value, and your value being that you're a child of God and God is infinite, there are many people on earth. God has many daughters. God has many sons. So if there's somebody in your life that is manipulating you, leave. That is how you know your value. You are the son of the Most High. He created a lot of people, and if God doesn't even find you somebody here on earth, biblical history shows that angels visit us on earth. Jesus Christ came on earth from heaven. And the Bible says that we should be nice to people because we might have entertained the angels. Meaning that as we walk day in, day out, there are angels that are around me. Look at me, for instance. I'm in front of your screen. I'm an angel, you know. I'm an earth angel. I'm a fairy. God is going to create one and put him here for you. Yes, it will only be after 8 years and you realize, oh my God, this person wasn't a human being. God gave him to me. Yeah, it sounds funny, but it's true. Some people don't know how to manage their emotions and get the things that they want from them. Because remember, everything that we possess, heaven is within. Heaven is your consciousness. Heaven is in your brain. The soul is a seat of emotions. It has your mind, it has your emotions, and it has your will. So you should be willing enough to tap into your mind to bring out better emotions out of you. Some people are too lazy to work on themselves, and they'll rather harvest other people's emotions to feel fulfilled. And they do things by collecting emotions and harvesting emotions. A lot of ladies have a lot of guys, and a lot of guys have a lot of ladies. And with each one of them, they know what they get from them. So when you check people's call list, there's food, energy. It's like all energy. The ones that provide them with money, and then the ones that provide them with emotional support. Because the one that gives you money might not necessarily be able to provide you with emotional support. Because the relationship that you have with them is just buying and selling, you know? I give you this, you give me money. And they understand that. That is the term of contract both of you have between you. And they understand it. But as human beings, it's been ingrained in us to feel seen and be heard. So you will still need that thing from somebody. And that is why a lady might use a man for money and then will have somebody on the side that she truly loves, who gives her the emotional support. Because for you to get an emotional support from somebody, you might have to have a little bit of emotion for them. You know, you cannot just let anybody be touching you in some way, you know? I mean, the person giving you money to is touching you, but that is a different type of touch. You understand? There's another one that is giving you healing. That's different. But all of these people provide you with some level of emotion, because money provides you with food, shelter, and good clothing to wear. But it doesn't necessarily provide you with that comfort, that healing power. So you need it from somebody else. Now, why can't you get it from one person? That is where the sickness comes in. You get to know somebody's distorted. People are not normal. Yeah. And in the same with the guys, why can't you just find somebody that can provide everything for you? Because it's headache, you know, having to manage a lot of people at the same time. And the sad part is that you might just play a good person out of your life, because most people that do that are just fulfilling a part of them that was deprived when they were young or in their teenage age or even in their current life. You know, a lot of people take things personal, you know. Certain people, what their football coach told them 10 years ago still lives with them. They still don't feel it now, because a football coach who didn't feel good about himself said something to you that he didn't even mean. And then you personalize it and make it your own. People can say whatever they want to say. The way you process it and the way you come in agreement with their words makes it who you are. Because people operate from different places in your life. So you meet somebody and the person is drunk and the person spews out a lot of nonsense, and then all of a sudden you think that you are not that girl or that boy because somebody somewhere is going through a lot and decides to just tell you his peace of mind, which has nothing to do with you. Now next is all of you that have people that call you friends, but their actions makes you doubt your motive. It's like, why are you in my life? You all have certain people in your life that don't need to be in your life. You know, all of those people that invite you to places just because you make them feel good. Don't you know some of you have this calm, endearing, riveting, warm spirit? Healing nature. You all possess certain giftings and way of being that comes from your high vibration. You operate in ways that radiate good energy out of you, and people see that energy, that warm spirit attracts everybody. And guess what? It even attracts the negative people more. Because somebody that has enough light within them would not be needing your energy. A person that feels enough by themselves wouldn't be needy. So someone around you that always needs you is somebody that wants to energy vampire you. You understand? And they do that in manipulative way. You know, I tell you guys something. You might want to learn a little bit of street life on your fingertips. You don't need to be loud about it. You can still come out looking Barbie, you know, or looking Mufasa or Ken. Still come out looking very light, but you should have a little bit of streets behind you. It shouldn't be the main thing people see when they see you, because then you come off defensive. You should be warm, you know, but you should also know it when somebody acts funny and then you walk away silently. Honey, please. Why fight? Honey, please. That is beneath you. When somebody shows you who they are, you just walk silently. This doesn't resonate with me. This is not for me. It's beneath me. This tempers with my integrity. You just walk away, because a lot of people don't have integrity. They have nothing to stand for. They act anyway and the repercussions just follows them. Then they meet you and they want you to help them deal with it. I'm like, no, honey, you made your mess. You gotta clean it up, period. Because some of y'all make people feel good. You just don't know. There are certain people that literally manifest your energy. Some of you make people feel good. You have no idea. Your energy, your aura, the way you operate, where you operate from, the way you radiate, the sun that comes out of your eye makes people feel super good around you. You have no idea. Do you know the people that literally use other people's energy to manifest? Have you ever had people in your life that anytime they're around you, good things start happening for you, and when they walk away from you, everything burns into ashes? That is because those people know how to manage their emotions and know how to operate from a proper place within them. So when they come around you, that frequency radiates out of them and then transfers on you. Likewise, when you have somebody around you whose head is full of darkness, somebody that operates from the spirit of hell, Hades, darkness, those people don't even know how to manifest for themselves, because you need a particular aura around you, a particular light to operate from. That is why the enemy, the devil himself, always puts people in places of darkness, because in those spaces you cannot create. You cannot have light within you to operate from. So people use certain energy. Do you know, oh my God, famous word that people use a lot, narcissist. For me, I don't call anybody a narcissist. That gives you some level of high intelligence and you're not. You're just a stupid person, period. Because why would you play a good person out of your life? These people prey on good people and they manipulate them to stay with them. And the reason is because you're harvesting on their energy. They are harvesting on your manured energy, on your good soil. So they make you feel like you're not enough. And the only way they can succeed is when the person who radiates the energy doesn't know your value. When you are somebody that knows who you are, the moment somebody shows you something that is off because you have one or two street life on your fingertips, you just run away. You don't even need to talk about it. You just walk away. Like, this person is just an idiot. Because why would you play a good person out of your life when the reason why you're struggling from the beginning is because somebody somewhere during a particular time in your life depleted you of a particular energy and care? And you're walking around just hurting a lot of people just because you are hurt. And that exists. You know, narcissism is just a demonic manifestation through a traumatic person. And guess what? We are all traumatized. We are all broken people. So it's just somebody that enjoys being in a state of victim mentality. Somebody that enjoys being, this is what happens to me, and because of that, I'm supposed to act out this way. This person just enjoys being in that way. In their own deluded mind, they find fault with you when you don't want to play in their games. It's like, are you okay? This is not a proper way to act. And yet you're angry with me. Or you're angry with the next person, you're angry with your boss or your colleague worker. Because these people are found in all places, you know. You can find them in the bank. You can just meet somebody that you have to do something with in a bank for a week, and you realize that this person is projecting on you. And that is a narcissist. That is somebody that is operating from a demonic manifestation. A lot of people see things through the lens of things they've been through, you know. That has nothing to do with you. They just wrap it up on you. And they enjoy doing that. It's like somebody did it to me. That is how the world is. So let me do it to the next person to feel better about myself. And it doesn't make sense. But yeah, there are people in this world that operates like that. Because guess what? The devil needs to come in agreement with certain people because our bodies gives us certain authority. So he needs to come in agreement in order to cause you pain and agony. And sometimes it comes in the form of a boyfriend, a husband, a girlfriend, a wife, a best friend, a neighbor. Haven't you noticed this annoying confidence that a lot of people possess? That is how you know a person is possessed by the demon. They are enabled by entities. They come off very bold. And I'm like, the moment I see somebody coming off in an overconfident way, I know that person is enabled by an entity. I just walk away. There's no need to exchange words. For me, I don't do exchanging words with people, you know. When you grow up, there are certain things you leave behind you. It's part of growth. You understand me? You don't need to exchange words with people. When you start seeing people through the lens of diseases, entities, and patterns, you would not argue with people anymore. There are people in this world that are sent by the devil to come and frustrate you. And a lot of times you know it as a pattern in your life. You just turn to be blind because you don't want to be alone or you think you're in love. Honey, you are not in love. This is not God's best for you, okay? That lady that is frustrating you, God has a lot of people. There are over 8 billion people in this world. God is going to get you a lady. Do not let somebody's daughter frustrate you, not even me. Yeah, but don't let anybody frustrate you, and don't also let anybody's son frustrate you. A lot of people have little princess syndrome, and it's okay to feel like a prince or a princess, but not on me. Okay, honey, I'm also a princess. Come on. For real, start seeing people as diseases and entities in your life. When you start seeing people as depression, anxiety, fight and flight mode. When you start naming people by who they are in your life, that starts your journey to freedom. When you start seeing people as people that are linked to the genes that activate your chronic inflammation, diseases, stroke, diabetes, and tumors, you would let them go. You would not even stress out. You're like, please, you are not about to give me a brain tumor. You are not about to activate certain genes in me. You are not about to cause epigenetic changes in my system. Honey, no. Stop putting people in jars in your life. I'm telling you, it's going to work out for you. Have jars, okay? Collect jars in your mind and place people there. When you do that, you wouldn't go sit by a hairdresser and start telling them your life's history. When you do that, you wouldn't go sit at a bar and somebody who is an acquaintance, somebody you only meet once a day, Friday night, Saturday night, tell all your life story to. As a matter of fact, even friends, put them in jars. Learn to put people in jars and stop getting your heart broken. Not everybody is assigned to you. They might be assigned to you, but they might be assigned to you in a different role in life. And place them there. Somebody that is a hairdresser cannot be your best friend. Sometimes somebody that is even a husband cannot be a business partner. They can only meet you on an emotional level. Stop exaggerating your place in people's lives. Let people be who they are and check if it aligns with the life that you built for yourself. And this comes with even opportunities. Not every opportunity that comes in your life is meant for you. Some are just there to prove to you that, you're capable of getting this. Wait for the one that aligns with your values in life. Do not get worked up about things in life. When you know who you are, you understand that you don't get worked up about things that are going on around you. Because you tend to understand that human beings operate from different places of your life and see things differently. You don't go about getting bothered about people, and that is how you have peace in your life. Oh my God, guys, it's getting late. I have to run to the gym. Now let me teach you how to get your power back. You get your power back by first meditating on the word. I told you this and I'm going to repeat it again. Pick up Bible verses that resonate with you. If you have an alcoholic issue, there's a biblical quotation. If you have financial issue, there's a biblical quotation. If you lack interpersonal skills, there's a biblical quotation. If you have issues towards managing your money, there is a biblical quotation. If you are bored and you want a hobby, there's a biblical quotation. Ask God what your contribution to this world is. Because a lot of people are doing things that is not in alignment with your purpose, and that is why you feel empty within. So just ask God and let Him tell you your contribution in this world. That's how you feel fulfilled, and stop looking at another person's grass. It doesn't have to be anything like anybody else. Check what you're good at and be bold about it. Aside that, prioritize peace in your life. It's very important. You regulate your nervous system by going to places, people, and things that nurture your well-being. You should get to know who you are. It's very important to know who you are. Get a journal. Get a book, a little book, and get a pen. This is the second assignment for you guys today. Get a book, get a pen, and then jot down who you are. My name is this. This is who I am, and this is what I don't like. And anything that comes your way that doesn't align, walk away from it. Period. You don't need to negotiate. Just walk away if it doesn't align with what you've written in your little notebook. And that includes how you want to be loved, how you want to be seen, how you want to be presented in society, the friends you want to keep in your life. You don't keep in and out people in your life. You know, those people that come in and out of your life every 6 months, those are acquaintances, those are not your friends. It doesn't matter how long you've known them, whether you've known them since kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, these are not your friends. People change. I knew somebody, the next time that I met him, within a short span, that person had a whole idol in his house. Yeah, I was shocked. Yep, I first saw it in a dream, but I was like, And then my mom called me one day, tell me that, Nana, I saw somebody that has this at your place. Do you know anybody like that? I was like, nah. Oh, that was somebody that I thought I knew. That idol had pictures and dolls. I was shocked. People are scary. Yeah, I've met people like that in my life, and I was surprised. This person doesn't even know that I know this about them. And now probably they're gonna know. So the truth of the matter is, you don't know anybody. You don't know what people do in your bedrooms. You can have idols or whatever in your kitchen or under your going around preaching about God and showing a different side of you to people. This is somebody that everybody sees to be pure, clean, nice, kind, sweet. But anytime I had a dream of this person was always having different faces, you know. And I don't know anybody in this world. You don't know anybody. These people are all over the place. They're your business partners. They are your neighbors. There are people that claim to love you and will die for you. Everybody has something that they operate from. And check with yourself if it aligns with the life that you've built for yourself. If it's your best friend and the person has voodoo dolls in your bedroom and under their pillow and whatnot, if it aligns with you, cool. But if it doesn't align with you, honey, walk away, because it's gonna disrupt your motion. All right, guys, I have to get to the gym. Thanks for listening to me. I love you guys so much. If you have any advice or whatnot that you can give to somebody, come on, it's a family, baby. Let's all share. Give an advice to somebody in the comment below. Somebody might just see something that you have been through and might help. So let's do this, guys. So the next video, I'm going to be talking about monitoring spirit. Yes, so stay tuned. Mwah.